Welcome to Chasing Prophecy Radio, where we discuss the unidentified, the unexplainable, paranormal, conspiracies, and much more. Starring your hosts and co-hosts, Kenny Nicasio, Sean Kelly, Trish Meadow, and Jason Spencer, Ryan Petro. Brought to you by UPRN Network. Now for your host, Jenny Nicasio.
Good evening and welcome to Jason Prophecy on the UPRN FM 105.3 network. I hear some background sounds. Okay, in New Orleans, where we discuss anything and everything beyond the scope of normal. Remember to like us on Facebook and YouTube and follow us, guys. Don't forget to hit the follow. Good evening, guys. Welcome to Fat Tuesday on Torture Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday and Torture Tuesday.
Yeah.
They knew we were coming, Sean.
Yes, they did.
Fat Tuesday.
That's definitely.
Oh, we have a good show for you tonight. So I'm so excited to say we have Mike Bara and we have Dr. Turi. I might be saying that wrong, guys. But you look at Trish. She's all decked out.
Yeah, I see that, man.
Mardi Gras.
Where's your
Mardi Gras.
beads at? Where are the beads?
Oh no.
Hello, Constance.
I have some. Mine are too small. They were on a pastry dish or something.
Oh boy.
You forgot your beads.
Yeah, I forgot my beans, baby. Oh God, I hope my screensaver doesn't go. Ava decided to make an appearance on the show tonight. Oh God, Lord help us. But our first, before we get started, I want to thank our good friends at Old Timey Crimey, a historical true crime podcast hosted by Christy and Amber. There are over 150 episodes ranging from the infamous crimes like those of Jack the Ripper. They like to dig into the wild, weird, with details and facts. You know what I like best about this show is they know how to tell a good crime story with a little bit of humor and some high energy. Like the Chicago in 1933, a young man is kidnapped. Okay, we like that one. And one of my favorites is when Chrissy tells Amber the story of Mary Averly, a little girl with the best nickname ever. Mary tore up the streets of San Francisco in the 1800s. And I know Sean and Jason like the great train robbery of 1915. Three men try to pull off a daring heist. But you can learn all about them because they know how to tell a good story. True crime is better in black and white with over 150 episodes from full length to bonus mini episodes and plenty to binge on. And you can check them out at Old Timey Crimey, where they know that the good old days weren't always good. And I want to thank our good friends. Also, we have our good friends, and you're going to like this, guys, because you like hauntings. You like scary hauntings. Okay. Well, these guys have a podcast called the Haunting Unearthly Paranormal Podcast, and they are scary. I'm going to just let you hear a little bit of it. Just give me a second. Whoops. This thing is going too fast for me. Oh, my Lord. Oh, gosh. Get back over here, guys. Oh, come on.
It is Fat Tuesday, so it should
I
be
know.
slow tonight.
I know.
Yeah, right.
Welcome to the Haunting, Unearthly, and Paranormal Stories podcast. Each week will be a different event, whether paranormal or some other strange and unexplained happening. Maybe even a haunting located near you will be examined and relayed to you. These events and stories are based on events have been given to us by the people who experience these events in their own lives.
You got to check them out. They're really good podcasts, and they know how to tell a creepy story. And you can find them at hubspotcast.com, and you can check them out on Google. You'll find them all their podcasts. But tonight we have a great story lined up for us tonight. So we have, we got the most famous Mike Bara in the house, and he's going to give us a little, his take on what's going on in the Ukraine and Russia, and he's going to let us know all his new happenings. So welcome back to Chasing Prophecy, Mike. How are you today?
Good. I am dedefinitely the most famous Mike Bara in this call. That's for sure.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hey,
buddy?
Mike.
Any way
welcome
of putting
back.
it, Jen. Hey, guys.
Well, I tell you what, I've been keeping up on your podcast and your streams and your Facebook page. So, Mike, tell us what the heck is going on behind the scenes.
Well, okay, we're in what appears on the surface to be World War III. In fact, it's nothing like that. It is a staged, and I hate to use this term because so much 9/11 bullshit is out there. You're watching the staged, controlled demolition of the corrupt deep state structure that has ruled our planet for like 2,000 years. And they are coming apart. They are being slowly deconstructed. The invasion of Ukraine is not an invasion. It's a cleanup action. And it's going to be off the headlines in a couple of days, and China and Taiwan are going to take center stage, and that's going to get cleaned up too. I think the next month is going to be incredibly exciting and incredibly scary to people who aren't tuned in to what's really going on and what this is really all about. So that's kind of how I see it. I don't know how anybody else sees it, but that, there's a lot of reasons to back that concept from my perspective. And we can go into any of those details if you'd like to. I mean, it's just really, I'm kind of excited about what's going on, because I think you're watching the Rothschilds deep state cabal just being taken apart, torn asunder limb from limb is how I would describe it.
So you like what's going on because you don't. I've heard so many different things because of Biden and Hunter. All the Pelosi's money involved in that. Is there a connection, maybe a little bit?
Yeah. Well, what's gonna look, the main thing is that if you look at where the first explosions were heard, the first Russian cruise missile attacks were carried out, and they're all over different parts of Ukraine. And they are correlated directly with the locations of bioweapons labs that were set up by America, by Anthony Fauci in the last 2 decades to basically construct viruses, bioweapons to be used against the human race, also adjacent to nuclear facilities. You notice the very first thing the Russians took back was Chernobyl, so that nobody could use the radioactive materials that were there to construct dirty bombs. And also there's a massive tunnel structure that goes under Chernobyl, which has been used to traffic drugs and launder money and child trafficking, and all kinds of horrible human experiments have been going on there, crazy Nazi stuff. And Putin is going to clean it all up, and he has permission to do that from the anti-globalist national sovereignty movements that I think are acting out right now. And again, you see all these things going on. Oh, let's kick Russia out of the SWIFT system, the SWIFT banking system. Well, Putin's got the nuclear bomb here, because all he has to do is say, oh, the ruble is now backed by gold, and all the other fiat currencies become worthless overnight. And the SWIFT system collapses. And gosh, there just happens to be a new system called Basel III, which is far more secure, blockchain controlled, and is ready to has been all approved, all tested, and is going to take over for Basel III, so that no country can ever do this to another country. So, again, I'm just watching all this play out, and I'm saying, okay, I see the arranged collapse of the U.S. petrodollar coming, and China is going to move. They're going to appear to move against Taiwan. It's actually all been prearranged. And China, it's going to lead to the collapse of the Chinese Communist Party. China will be reunified, but under a republic. And, I just think that the World War III we're seeing is not the World War III that's really going on, which is all in the background.
What do you think about this, Sean?
Oh, man, I think it's interesting. And, Mike, I'm glad you're on, because I read all kinds of stuff, and I get so confused. Like, there's some people saying that this happened in Ukraine and that happened in Ukraine, and the Russians are doing this and the Russians are doing that. And I'm just like totally confused. So
yeah, and then you turn on the webcams, right, in Kiev, and it's completely quiet. I mean, people aren't really walking the streets or anything, but it's just nice and peaceful. And I'm like, okay, are all 4 of these webcams showing you footage from 6 months ago? No, they appear to be live, and you hear the occasional explosion in the distance, but those are the weapons labs, the bioweapons labs, the nuclear facilities, and the underground tunnels that are being taken by the Russians. And all this crap. Oh, the ghost of Kiev or whatever it was.
Oh, that
shot down 35. I had a meme that came across, and it was Tom Cruise and Anthony Edwards from Top Gun. Igor Mavriksky and Gusky. Just shot down 37 Russian planes. It's all bullshit. The Russians are not losing dogfights to Ukrainian pilots, and the Russians are not losing equipment on the ground. And most of the equipment you see is actually Ukrainian, because they bought all their military stuff from the Russians, and it's all 20 years old. So that's Ukrainian tanks.
There were some videos I saw, old movies. Yeah.
It's like, you know what? This is what
one lie after another.
One lie after before we came on, I was reading an article in the Washington Times or Post where it said that the Russian Marines actually want to go home. They don't want to fight. Have you heard anything about that?
Of course, they're going to say that, whether it's the Washington Times or the Washington Post and the Washington Times are like Fox News and CNN. Okay, it's two sides of the same coin made of bull. Okay, I can't say the other word, I don't think, on this airwaves, but it's all baloney. It's just simply not true. And I mean, there may be a Russian soldier who doesn't want to fight. I'm sure that's entirely possible, but they're in there to do cleanup operations. I have a friend, Dr. Brooks Agnew. I don't know if you guys have ever had him on the show, but he's an amazing guy. He's got a friend in Ukraine, American from Texas, living in the Donbass region, that's been there for 8 years fighting the Nazi factions that are still there in Ukraine. I mean, people don't realize the Ukrainian army, the first division of the Ukrainian army, formed in 1945, was the old German 14th Waffen SS Grenadier Division that killed and slaughtered the Jews and the Poles. And I mean, it's all Nazi influence. So when Putin says this stuff that they're calling him crazy, oh, he's a madman on Fox News, he's cleaning out a Nazi remnant that has been in Ukraine for 70 years. And their sons and their grandsons are there. And there's American militias over there killing these guys. So it's all BS. It's just not really happening that way. You can't trust a thing you see on any of the mainstream news.
Trish, what are you thinking?
Oh Lord, I never have the popular opinion. So.
Yeah, try being me.
So I don't, Mike. I know nothing about. I don't pay attention to politics. I don't watch the news. I don't even really pay that much attention to social media, except that I'm on it now, what I do pay attention to is the intuitive messages, I guess, I get from that have all led up to this. And so backing up, it was a few months ago when I started getting these messages about Black Water, Black Sea. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? Moscow, Russia. We even had a reader on here from, I forgot which one that was, that said that there was a spirit with me from a big Turkish man that she could see standing behind me, which I felt that even when you were doing the intro, Jen, there's a shadow that looked like you could see it on the screen that came behind me. And I remembered that she said that. And so all these dates and things, like I said, I don't pay attention to the news or politics or anything like that. But I also had a dream about Vlad the Impaler. And so with all the planetary alignment, I know, a lot of political people and conspiracy theorists and stuff don't really believe in the astrological standpoint, I guess, and things. There's a wheel in the universe, and history repeats itself unless something drastically changes. And so all of the events leading up to, even the Holocaust and the Russian Revolution, all of those things, we're repeating them. And so it was 1476 that Vlad the Impaler had the invasion and the conflict. And so a lot of people are comparing that to Vladimir Putin, which all these things are in people's bloodlines. It's, it's in past lives. it's in generations, and it's remembered, and we do the same things. every virus, every plague, every, you know, so whether it's like you said, the rulers, controllers of the world that have been around for 2,000 years doing this, basically being like the producers of a movie of the world and repeating the same scenarios over and over. I don't know.
I wrote a great book called The Choice about cycles and astronomy and astrology and how they're connected to physics and how they affect human consciousness, and exactly how during the period from 2012 to 2024, we were going to have this revolutionary fervor take over the entire planet, which is exactly what's happening, and that we're going to have major changes to all of our government and financial hierarchies and structures. We're all going to collapse and be replaced with something new. And you are absolutely right about all this. I don't think Vladimir Putin is connected to Vlad the Impaler. My understanding of what's going on with Putin is that he's working with the Global Alliance, which includes Donald Trump and the people behind the Q movement. And they have been planning this since the assassination of John Kennedy in 1963. And they are executing a takedown of this evil, dark cabal that has controlled this planet, like I said, for at least 2,000 years. Remember, we've been in the age of Pisces. That's an occulted age. That's all ending. We're coming into Aquarius if we're not there already. And everybody is waking up, and everybody wants sovereignty over their own personal, over their own self. The individual countries, you know, France wants to be France again. England wants to be England again. Scotland wants to be Scotland again. All of this multicultural invasion that's been going on needs to all be stopped. And I do not buy for a minute that Putin is the bad guy here. And all you have to do is look who's stacked against him. You know,
I don't side either way as far as if he's a bad
Bush
guy.
hates him. Obama hates him. Hillary hates him. John Kerry hates him. Mitt Romney hates him. You know, John McCain would have hated it. So all these people that are stacked, ABC hates him, NBC, CBS, you know, Fox, they're all stacked against him. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the corporate power structure is against this guy. That means, to me, that he's a good guy. And the biggest reason Russia is a target right now for all this propaganda is because they're one of the few countries on earth that do not have a Rothschilds-owned central bank. And part of this whole process that's going on is that our own Rothschilds-owned central bank, the Federal Reserve, is going to go down too, and the dollar is going to collapse. But don't worry, there's a plan to replace all this stuff. So that, to me, is what's really going on. And I'm going to tell you something. You don't want to watch politics, you're not going to have a choice. You're not going to have a choice in the next.
I don't watch TV. I mean, I don't watch TV. Period.
You're going to have to look at it. It's like people, you know, like Clockwork Orange, where they're pulling your eyeballs open and making you look at the screen, right?
I look at it. It's
gonna be like
collectively put in my brain, so that's why I don't watch TV, because I try to discern with my own intuition rather than an outside source. But you did mention I was discussing with my co-host last night that in 2000 Putin met with Clinton, you know, requesting to become allies, to join NATO. And I was telling them it is your typical, it's almost like a villain story, because they refused him. And so I'm not, you know, saying he's that good, but most villains of stories are actually the catalyst, and it's years later that people consider them the good guys after they find out the truth.
Right, because Putin is Jewish, and he hates the New World Order, and he wants to bring it down, and he's been dying to execute this plan for a decade or more. That's been, you know, bubbling up. He's been waiting to do this to clean out Ukraine. Ukraine is the second, if not, it's either the first or second most corrupt nation on earth, next to Haiti. And these evil people have been robbing and using Ukraine just the way they've been using Haiti for decades and decades and decades, for drug trafficking and money laundering and child trafficking and all of the horrible stuff that some of it's so horrible, it's going to be years before they think we're ready to even hear what's been going on in places like Ukraine and Haiti. So, I mean, I feel excited because finally something is happening. Finally, the deep state is being exposed and taken down. And what I think is going to come out of Ukraine before we flip over to Taiwan, which is the next thing, is that all that corruption, and names that are going to be named is going to come out from this. Oh, look at this. We found all these documents showing that Joe and Hunter Biden made, $100 million out of Ukraine in the last 5 or 10 years when Joe was vice president. Gosh, what a surprise. Like, most people that are awake know this, but a lot of people don't. And it's just going to get shoved into your face to the point where you're not going to be able to deny it, especially when it leads to Biden stepping off the world stage. So, and that's going to happen, I think, very soon. I know, our country can't survive much longer with the way things are going. So, I mean, it's just, there's a bigger picture going on here. I don't think Putin is the bad guy. I think Putin is a strict Russian nationalist. I'll give you that. But it's also important to remember, Russia and the United States have never fought each other, ever. We were allies in World War I. We were allies in World War II. We have never fired a shot in anger at each other. So there are people, however, in our governments and in our media who are desperate to have a war start. A nuclear war is what they would like between Russia and the United States. I just don't see it happening.
I have to pause 1 second because we have a lot of comments saying, why are we talking about politics in this? Because what is going on right now is beyond the scope of normal. Now, if you think what's happening now is normal, then I'm sorry. This is part of our show. We talk about paranormal, we talk about conspiracies, and we all love you and we want your input. We're only going to talk a little bit about this because Mike can't stay for the whole show. We want to talk about other things that Mike's doing now.
And Jen, this is the ultimate conspiracy theory.
Yes,
this is the ultimate conspiracy theory. It's like you got 9/11, you got the fake moon hoax thing, which is, neither one of those are very good conspiracy theories. This is the ultimate conspiracy theory, and this is the one that's going to prove that all of the conspiracy theories are pretty close to being right.
Yeah, and that's part of the show. We talk about conspiracies. So I'm sorry if this isn't up to your part this evening. We love you. We want to talk paranormal, and we will. But we just wanted to dive into this because Mike, he knows a lot about this stuff, and he is brilliant when it comes to conspiracies, as we all know. And he's a major sci-fi guy, and we love him, and we want his opinion on this.
And guys, the thing is too, Jen, is we cannot move forward into the truth about aliens and all this other stuff. We can't move forward into that truth until all of this other mess is cleaned up. It's like, oh, I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out to the club and meet an alien and dance with an alien. You can't do that if your shower's broken and you can't take a shower and you smell bad. You can't brush your teeth. It's like, you can do it, but you're not going to get anywhere. So we have to clear this whole mess up that we've created. And we've had some negative influences from our not so friendly friends on the dark side up above us. But it's like we have to clean this mess up first. That's why there's nothing going on in the UFO community right now. There's absolutely nothing. It's because the aliens are just like, well, we're gonna sit back and wait and see how this all comes out.
They're not coming down when they see what's going on. They're saying that I don't want to stop here. Why do I want to stop here? Yeah, it's like crazy. And Jason, you're quiet.
Yeah, I don't do politics whatsoever. Like, not at all.
Well, this think of it as not politics. Think of it as a movie. But okay, we're going to move on because I want our fans to get upset with us because we need them. And we need our sponsors too to sponsor the show. So Mike, tell me what else is going on besides the dark side of politics and with you. I know you got a new book. Is that the new book? No,
the Choice has been around for about 10 or 11 years, but it does explain to you in a physics and conspiracy theory way why everything is happening that's happening now. People don't know that science and astrology are connected. I mean, it's interesting because what is the biggest influence in this physical realm that we live in, this three-dimensional reality that we live in, is spin energy. It's what they call bulk angular momentum. And that's why astrology is real, is because the big planets, which have the most momentum, the most spin energy, are the ones that have the greatest influence on human consciousness. And that's what this book was all about. I'm telling you all kinds of experiments that have been done that say that astrology makes complete sense. Now, I think it has to be sort of a modified version of the astrology that we all know. We haven't quite figured out how it connects yet, but the truth is that the positions of the planets at any given moment, especially the big spinning balls of spin energy, where they are in relation to the Earth affects the electromagnetic functioning of everything on this planet. And your thoughts are nothing more than electromagnetic pulses and waves. And so, of course, they can be affected. If shortwave radio can be affected by the positions of the planets, which I tell you in here, there are experiments that prove that as a fact, then so can your consciousness, so can your thoughts. And you have to understand that that's what's driving all this. I mean, why is there protests all over the world? Because people are ready to take control of their own lives, just the way they did during the French Revolution, during the American Revolution, and before all this other nonsense started 2,000 years ago. So if you understand the science behind the astrology, the astronomy and the astrology behind the astronomy behind the astrology, you'll understand what's going to happen next and why you shouldn't be afraid of it.
Sounds good to me. Sean?
Wow, that was pretty interesting. I don't dabble into astrology at all. I might read the little astrology thing for Gemini, but
Your horoscope.
my horoscope, that's about it. Because I don't know if I'm born on the cusp and stuff like that. But I do appreciate you coming on tonight, Mike. I really do. In fact, can I get your book on audio?
I don't know if the choice is on audio. That's from New Page Books. They do a lot of foo-foo, fluff, new agey stuff. I'm not sure if it's on an audio book or not, but I would. I think they should do that. I think they should hire Shatner to talk about my book. Don't you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think Shatner should read every book. I wanted to say, Nina, the elected leader of Ukraine and the prime minister are both of Jewish heritage. Okay, I'm just going to tell you. Look up the 14th Waffen SS Grenadier Division. The 1st division of the Ukrainian army was Nazi. You can do searches. There are all kinds of photographs online of various Nazi military, paramilitary militia groups and military groups in Ukraine, and they've been there since the area was part of the Soviet Union. So, okay, just look it up. And everybody who knows the history of the area knows that. Now, do you think there weren't Jews that collaborated with the Nazis during World War II? Yeah, there were. So, and by the way, Putin, is also of Jewish heritage. So that's why this makes him so damn mad, and why he's not going to allow Nazis on his doorstep anymore. So it's all connected.
So hey, Sir Perez, I can't pronounce your name. How you doing? Thanks for joining us tonight. Let me ask you: is there anything else going on in the side like UFO world that we don't know?
Do you want anything else to go on? Well, I think the biggest thing, and it is connected to this. And the thing is, people say you don't want to talk about politics. What do you think UFOs are? You think the UFO debate isn't political? It's overtly political.
Oh,
if it's not political, why are there all these UFO articles and videos all of a sudden in the New York Times and the Washington Post and all these political newspapers? Because there's an agenda going on. I think the biggest thing that's going on is that you have this agenda from the mainstream news media suddenly to start talking about flying saucers. And they don't want to call them UFOs anymore. They want to change the terminology and call it a UAP.
Yeah.
And then you look at Tom DeLonge's group, and every single guy in there is spook. They're CIA. They're all intelligence community people. So you look at these videos, and they're clearly not alien spacecraft. At best, they are fairly sophisticated military drones. At best, they're sure as heck not spacecraft from other planets, but they're being promoted by these mainstream media sources, Fox and New York Times and Washington Post. Why is that? And I think it's because the last refuge of this movement is going to be the proverbial fake alien invasion. So, I think that's the last thing. That's the last card they have to play. And the way things are
laughing, Trish?
The way things are going for them,
I don't think it's going to be fake.
Have to do.
You think it's going to be real? I don't know. Project Bluebeam, right?
Yeah, Project Bluebeam. So, I look at this stuff and I'm just like, I think this connects. And I look at these videos and I'm like, how can anybody with even a modicum of understanding of aviation and aircraft think that these are anything but military aircraft or drones? They just don't do anything. Oh, look, the Tic Tac, which is a blob, by the way. It's a blob on the screen. The reason it's a blob is because it's a heat source. And infrared imagers don't do a very good job of visual resolution, especially at a distance. So it's a hot engine, and all of a sudden it goes zoom, and it zooms off the side of oh my God, it shot off at 1,000 miles an hour instantaneously. No, if you look at the video, what you see is that the camera is zooming in and zooming out and zooming in and zooming out. And what happens is it zooms in and loses lock on this hovering heat source.
Mhm.
And that's the only reason it appears to shoot off to the side of the screen. Anybody with a brain can see that. You got this Jeremy Corbell video of this blob. Once again, a blob in the sky flying along, and then it gets lower, then it gets lower, and it splashes into the water. It doesn't splash into the water. It goes over the horizon. It's flying away from the camera at a 90-degree angle. And again, why do I have to be the only one to figure this crap out? What bothers me is that there's so many people, hang on, let me finish. There's so many people in the UFO community who just blindly said, oh, look, aliens. Oh, I'm getting attention from CNN. Like, who watches CNN anymore? I don't know. But come on. There's not any, is it really what it's shown me is how dumb 99% of the UFO investigators out there are, because they don't have any healthy skepticism about what they're looking at.
You just opened a can of worms.
Not you guys.
No.
Why am I the only one who am I the only one who figures it out because I'm the only one who's willing to say what's actually on the film?
Probably.
Trish, go ahead.
Figured it out, but they want to milk it for all they can get. I don't know.
All right, Trish.
Lord. So let me ask you this, Mike. So I take it you've never seen a UFO in person yourself.
That's not true. I've seen them twice, 2 times. 2 experiences.
Okay, so I'm just clarifying what you just previously said as far as, so you were just going by the way they're portrayed. The TTSA videos and the latest Jeremy Corbell video from I think it was the USS Indiana. Those are just regular aircraft. But I mean, what is your personal opinion, I guess, from the ones from your own experiences?
Oh, there's aliens here, and there are alien spacecraft, and we have filmed some of them. There's some great space shuttle footage of what are either alien spacecraft or our own secret spacecraft development projects that we've taken video of from the space shuttle. You know, it's clear to me there's this whole agenda to make these things out to be flying saucers, and I think it's really got more to do with, oh, I want to get some FaceTime on CNN than it is what the truth is. And that's really frustrating, because there are aliens. I've seen them twice, once in New York City and Brooklyn on a rooftop of a hotel, and when we were auditioning for a TV show I did called Uncovering Aliens for Discovery. And then later on, we were in Jerome, Arizona, doing night vision shooting, and we had 3 UFOs appear out of nothing in the middle of the sky in a triangle. They moved around, they crossed, they formed together, and then they went and left. We got it all on camera, and it was right after this guy Stephen Jones, who was on the cast, said, you know, if you're out there, show yourselves, and boom, 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 3 flying saucers show up. So I've seen them. And I don't think that was the government.
But I mean,
so I know
you
they're
say
here.
that you had an agenda too, making those movies. Like, what, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of bold to say that 90% of UFO investigators are completely dumb to these things, because maybe they go to the mainstream because that reaches more people. You know, I mean, maybe because coming from someone who, most UFO investigators are people, abductees, things like that. One, they're terrified because of the government related UFO incidents, but to come forward. So usually they don't have an agenda. Like me, I don't get paid to talk about being abducted. I don't, you know, gain anything from that or being famous or anything like that. So when you say 90% of them are dumb, I don't think that's true. I think 90% have experienced something, and they're
I'm saying the UFO investigators, the people the names that we hear in the press, the names that we hear, those people.
Same as I mean, that's like our entire network here.
No, it's not. Okay, let me rephrase it to the big names. Okay, the people that you see on CNN or you see on Fox or you see, do any of you guys appear on those
I don't watch
networks?
the news.
I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the people who claim to be the leaders of the UFO movement. And we all know who they are because they're all at Contact in the Desert. And very few of them are interested in the truth. Most of them are interested in whatever keeps the story going forward. Whereas I'm willing to say, guys, look, that's a blob. That's the reason that thing zips off the screen is because you zoomed up past it. Because that's obvious from the video that that's what happens. Because there's a little zoom thing in the left. I'm not talking about you guys. I think the people that have experienced this stuff and are curious about it, the rank and file, you have to separate. See, this is what's happening throughout the entire planetary culture, is you've got the people who have had the experience and are curious and want to know the truth, and you've got the hierarchical structures who are trying to keep you from asking the wrong questions. That's what's going on.
I just want to say, KD, he's not saying that he doesn't believe that UFOs are not real. He's not saying they're all fake. Mike has been all over the world on conferences, and he speaks to thousands of people. For how long, Mike? How long has it been since you've been doing this?
Oh, I think the first one was 2007, so 10 or 15 years now.
He's just not some fly-by guy that doesn't. He's just talking out of his, you know what? He's researched this stuff. He's written books, and I put that all in the show notes. That how many books do you have on?
I have 8 UFO books out now.
And the moon bases and the conspiracies.
Dark Mission, The Secret History of NASA, The Choice, which I've talked about here, which is about physics and astrology. Ancient Aliens on the Moon, Ancient Aliens on Mars, Hidden Agenda, NASA and the Secret Space Program, and my personal favorite, Ancient Aliens and JFK, which I think is a really
we had he's on the show before. We talked about that stuff. When was the last conference you went
to? Folks, I'm not saying the UFOs you've seen are fake. Okay, get this clear. I'm saying the TTSA videos that are being pushed as UFOs are aircraft. They are conventional aircraft, and I can prove that, and I will argue with anybody about it if you simply watch the videos. I'm also telling you, I've got space shuttle videos of stuff which have to be flying saucers. And whether we built them or whether aliens or built them is in dispute, is up for grabs. But guys, I'm not saying that UFOs are fake. I'm not saying aliens are fake. They are absolutely real, and they are here, and people are encountering them. But I think they're taking a time out right now until we get our whole mess cleaned up here.
Yeah, I think that's true too. But I believe in a lot of the fake UFO. Like you see the angels on the angels, and people can do so much with Photoshop now. You can put anything into a video. Photoshop, you can edit in Photoshop video. I mean, it's amazing what they can do now. And a lot of them are fake too, and I believe a lot of them are real. But that's going on to another speaking. So, what's the new book you're writing? Aren't you writing one with your brother Dave?
Well, yeah, I am, but that's a novel. So we're working on. We got a contract to do. It's basically Game of Thrones with ray guns. So that's the idea behind it. And that's going to be because Dave's a sci-fi novelist. He does sci-fi stuff, and I kind of want to do some of that because let's face it, you can write a book like that, and you can get all your points across without any of the conflict and strife that you have, in the real world debates about the kind of stuff that we talk about. So
definitely
that's going and just kind of waiting for things to get back rolling again in terms of conferences and things like that. We'll see how it all goes. But I think I've made a lot of enemies by telling people the truth over the last few years. And that's okay because I don't care.
Well, I was that once. Okay, they're talking about the Blair House in Ohio. So, before I let you go, do you believe that are we ever gonna do? How do you feel about contact? Do you think they're going to cover that up too? If we have contact, are they going to let us know?
Yes, they are, but it's going to be down the road a little bit, like 2 or 3 years, because again, there's so much stuff that's been happening right here on Earth that we haven't been told. They're gonna bring us along slowly so that they don't shatter our consciousness. Everybody on the show is aware of the truth. You all know it. Trish, you know the truth. You had encounters with these people, right? But Joe Schmo out there who works on a farm and has never seen a flying saucer and never encountered aliens, he doesn't know that this stuff is real, but he's going to be told over the next 3 years, and it's going to take time to build up to reveal the alien presence. That is going to be one of the last things that they do, unless, one side decides to pull that final trump card and do the fake Project Bluebeam stuff as a way to try to keep us from proceeding down the path that we're going down, which is definitely towards revolution.
That's great. Well, Mike, thanks for joining us tonight. We have another guest after you. It was great to see you again. Take care, and I will keep on watching. If someone wants to listen to is you still on Rumble, your radio show?
Yeah, Real News Live on Rumble every day. MikeBara.blogspot.com. You can just go there. You link the show there every day. We talk about all kinds of stuff. Today we talked about the demon at the UN, the demon-faced Satan at the UN voted on a resolution. It's probably some sort of video distortion or something, but NBC broadcast this picture of somebody who looked like Satan casting a vote at the UN. It was pretty crazy stuff. So look, I'm just going to tell everybody, get ready for a really interesting ride over the next couple of months.
I think you're right. I truly think you're right. And you're not the only one who feels that way. I don't know if anybody listens to Wendy Belt from Pittsburgh. She feels the same way about this whole thing in Ukraine and Russia. But
yeah. All right.
Okay, you take it easy, and thanks for coming on
Mike.
with us.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Bye,
Mike.
guys.
See you,
Bye-bye.
Mike.
That was fun. Okay,
Happy
we have
Fat Tuesday.
yeah, happy Fat Tuesday. Yeah.
Torture Tuesday.
There it is.
Yeah.
Look.
Torture Tuesday. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
Oh, Sean. What
Jeez.
is
Yeah.
I think you just broke my computer screen. Thanks.
Did I really?
Yes.
I have to message our next guest before I forget. I have to go onto Gmail to do that because he is not on Messenger. Yeah, really
Uh-oh.
cool.
I still don't see chats, so unless you put them on the screen, just
What's that? I don't know why you can't see them.
Yeah.
because I'm not in StreamYard. So,
Where are you at?
well, I mean, I am, but I'm not.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Where are you?
Where are you?
No, I mean in the chat room.
Oh, yes,
Oh.
you do.
Oh,
Oh,
If you go, you could comment in there through via Facebook or
yeah,
whatever.
you could get on your phone and go Facebook.
mm.
Yeah.
I know, but it doesn't. That's just one of the rooms. That's not like I can't see all of them.
Mm.
Can you see the comments on your screen from StreamYard?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you can't. I don't know. Okay. I just have to take a real quick station break to thank my sponsor Focus for this segment. Okay. I'm going to play. Okay, Focus. Yeah. Ooh, that's really loud. Focus. You won't know my rant on sugar. It's really loud. Why it's so loud? But you remember me doing my rant. But Focus is better for you than any other beverage, and it's better than Coca-Cola, and it's better than sparkling ice because it has a little bit of caffeine to, bring you up, but it doesn't give you the jitters. That's what I like about the Focus energy drink. So I've not found one yet that I like, but I do like Focus. And seriously, guys, you have to try it. It will boost your,
Well, where can we buy that, Jen? I haven't
You
seen
can-
it
you
on
can-
my.
Well,
I'm-
you can buy it anywhere. If you don't have it in Giant Eagle, you can call your local store and ask them to get it. It has so much. Oh my God, it has so much. Vitamins in it. Lecithin. I can't even pronounce that though. It's a secret hero of the green tea balance, and it mellows the brain, boosting benefits of caffeine, so keeps you alert. You got to try that one. But you can, I think Kroger's has it. I don't know if we have a Kroger's, but I know they're all over the world. They come in all different flavors. And then you got a discount code for 10% off, Chasing Prophecy. Just go to their website, Focus, and you can find them anywhere, hopefully. And especially if you're health conscious, as I am. No, I'm not. No, yeah, I am. You can check them out. And we have one more. but we're going to say that one for a little bit later. But thank you, Focus.
Thank you, Focus.
Focus. Yeah, I like it because seriously, this Diet Coke, man, don't keep me up all night tonight.
How much caffeine is in Focus? How many milligrams?
75. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I think it's 75 milligrams.
Is that more than
That's like a
than
cup of coffee.
Is
Yeah,
that a cup
yeah.
of coffee?
I'm
Yeah,
more of
it's
like
like
a
a-
300
it's
plus
like-
range.
It's a natural caffeine. It is derived from teas, so it gives you that same boost without all the jitters. But you should try it, Jeff. Definitely. Thank you so much for this segment, Focus. Okay, boys and girls, we have another guest coming on the show. And
Hello, guest. How are you?
Hello.
he's not here yet. He's not in the green room, but I will tell you a little bit about him. He's really cool. His name is Dr. Turi. I hope I'm not screwing that up. I don't know why I can't pronounce names. I don't know what's up with that, but it's getting to be a habit, you guys. Have you noticed it? But we did got a new subscriber from tonight's show, so thank you. That's actually, we got 2 new subscribers, so that's great. I'm glad. That's cool. Actually, 3. Well, there you go. Wow, that's great.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome to Torture
We like it.
Tuesday.
Yeah, lucky to have you. Okay. Now, let me see if I can bring up. I have too many apps that have been on my phone. Or my computer. Okay, let's talk about Dr. Turi. He's like the great prophet Nostradamus. Dr. Turi was born and raised in Provence, France. The world famous UFO contactee, cancer survivor, and clinical hypnotherapist. Does that sound like something you would like, Trish? Dr. Turi is a captivating speaker, author of many books, and his profound cosmic wisdom continues to astonish the skeptics and believers alike. He has been a regular guest on George Norrie, Coast to Coast. We all know that show. He's also appeared with William Shatner's William Shatner's Weird or What TV show, the History Channel, BBC in London, and countless radio and television programs worldwide. He is a graduate from the Royal School of Music in London and was recognized in 2003 as Marcus Who's Who in America. Oh my goodness gracious, he has done it all. Now let me see if is he with us yet? I can't tell. Is he in the? Oh, he's not here yet. Well, we're gonna have to do that
He's
all
not in the green
over.
room?
No, he's not in the green room. Where is he?
Did you email?
Yeah, I did. I emailed him.
Who emails anymore?
Oh, a lot of people do. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I-
Definitely text.
See something with oh, there he is. There he is. Okay.
Okay, you gonna get that thing out of the middle of the screen?
Oh, that's Dell. What's Dell doing here?
Hey,
Oops, I lost them.
Bravo.
Oh, what are you doing? Are you gonna stay with us tonight, Dell?
I can stick around there for a little bit. I just was just checking out. I was eating pancakes, sausages, and hash browns because
Well, it's Fat
supposed to be
Tuesday. Where's the rest of
pancake
ours?
night there tonight.
Nice
And then I
silverback
was just
Sheila.
flipping around, and I said, "Hey, what's going on here on YouTube?" And I just saw you guys, and I said, maybe I should just go and say hi.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Oh,
You can
thank
join
you
the show because I'm going to bring Dr. Turi in a second. But I
Yes,
want to
hello.
say
Bring us some
say
breakfast,
hi
please.
to some of the people listening on Bigo. So hi, Silverback. Hi, Phila, Jason. How you doing? Okay. Welcome to Chance and Prophecy, Doctor. Could you pronounce your last name for me so I don't screw it up?
I can't see.
My last name is Dr. Turi, T-U-R-I.
Okay. Turi. Well, nice
Turi.
to have you on the show.
Turi,
Turi.
Turi.
It's nice to have you.
Turi.
Thank you for
Turi.
inviting me, guys. Appreciate
Welcome
it.
to Torture Tuesday, Turi.
Welcome.
You bet.
It's Turi Tuesday.
All right.
There you go.
I hope you have some questions for me in time.
Oh, yes, we do. Well, tell us a little bit. I read your bio before you came into the green room. I read your bio, and it's intriguing to say the least. So how did you come upon finding these contactees? I mean, did they come to you through
Yes.
therapy?
Indeed. A magnet will attract a piece of wood. I was born with a very, very uranic UCI. That's going to be a bit difficult for you maybe to grasp. The UCI stands for Unique Celestial Identity, or another word, the Maya astrological chart. My astrological chart is loaded with a planet called Uranus. And this planet rules anything to do with the future, UFO technology, computers. It rules Japan, anything that is the future of humanity, the sudden police of energy, nukes, explosion, etc. And that's this energy that led me to have 4 solid UFOs experiences.
Can I just get a clarification? Did he say witch heart? Like WHICH? Did he say witch heart?
No, I don't know when I was. I never said witchcraft or witch hunt.
No, witch heart. It's
no. I don't recall saying witch heart.
Okay.
Oh, that's me. No,
Oh.
I'm kidding.
But you know what? In reference to witchcraft, there are ladies and there is guys that are loaded with a planet called Pluto, which is called in Greek mythology the Lord of Hades. And this energy regulates witchcraft. Now you have white magic and you have black magic. There is such a thing as voodoo, which means those witches are using the negative forces to kill people, to manipulate the energy from the universe or nature, for that matter, to kill people. And then you have the white witches, and these are the medicine women. These are the ones who are delegating with nature, creative forces. So there is the white and black witches, like you have male, female, up and down, black and white, God, devil, the yin-yang, the good ETs, the bad ETs, and that's why we are symmetrical: 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs. We are affected by those ETs. Up here, we have a reptilius mind and a draconis mind. Make sense?
Yeah.
In reference to the witch's words, I'll give you a little bit of information.
Well,
Trish.
Trish.
Oh, there's gray witches too, who
Well-
are really more. You
When
hear
mix
about
black
like
and white, you get
like
gray.
witch doctors and stuff. As far as they are neither good nor evil, black magic nor white magic. They allow basically karma and the universe.
Absolutely. Your astrological chart is the result of all the karma to whatever you have ever been. So let's say, for example, if you proceeded from a very progressive, positive life, then you're going to bless with a beautiful karma, which means you're going to have a good health, you're going to be magnetic, you're going to be creative, you're going to be working with the forces of the draconis. The draconis are the group of extraterrestrials that interact with your mind and help you to be creative, to be progressive. They stimulate the mind of our scientists to create beautiful technology, like the technology we are using now. And then the negative reptilians, those are the ones who stimulate the mind of the scientists to create nukes or to create the viruses. So the black and white energy is factual. It's like you cannot have a God without a devil, or a male without a female. And now you have, of course, in between, okay? You have in between. The soul is either aiming towards the good or towards the bad, so it's in between. The part of God in ourselves is much stronger than anything for that matter. So you have a choice to aim either for the light or darkness.
It's just a story there for you guys. Has this been written anywhere else in ancient texts that what you're saying right now that can confirm this stuff?
Well, again, there is no schools that create Einstein or Michael Jackson or Beethoven. Every one of us has our gifts. We all have gifts, and those gifts are inborn.
Right. I can also make up a lie too and make it as truth, and that's the question. That's the part of the situation that I'm going through. Right.
Okay. What months were you born, if I may? That might give me an idea. I don't want your full date of birth, but just the month of birth. What is the month of your birth? That give me an idea of how your spirit is generated.
Well, I'm a Gemini.
All right, so you're a messengers of the gods. Gemini is a
well. See, no, you're playing off of a thing there of understanding, though, right? It's like.
No, Gemini is ruled by your planet Mercury. You have to understand my line of work has nothing to do with woo-woo. It's very rational, it's very practical, it's down to earth, it has logic to it. So being a Gemini, you're under the control of a planet called Mercury. Mercury to represent communication, transportation, the post office, driving, talking, saying jokes like you do, for example. The ancient carved this guy with wings on his heels, Hermes. So you're controlled by this energy, and that makes you a talker, a writer. Like old Gemini, I have the moon in Gemini, and have the hidden dragon in Gemini. That's why I'm on radio, television, I write books. But you have, like old Gemini, the negative Gemini has a problem to crystallize his thoughts. He's all over the place. He's ADD or ADHD, like me. But you can discipline yourself, and then you can write books. So born in June, you are a messenger of the gods. So it's not an accident for you to have a microphone or to be a talker or writer or speaking Spanish or French, because that's part of your gift, if that makes sense.
I do like
comments.
Mexican women. They're very beautiful.
Nina has a question.
Yeah.
How
wants
do
to know
you
how
go
you
about
go ahead,
finding
Pat.
out your planetary essence? Is it only zodiac sign, or is there more to it?
Well, I actually practice Nostradamus 16th century divine astrology. I don't practice modern astrology. It starts and finishes on your horoscope newspaper. It's financially oriented. There is nothing there. The type of astrology I delegate with brought the FBI in my house twice because I gave exact date of terrorist attacks. And what's happening with Putin, if you watch my YouTube video, everything I was saying nonstop for months. I worry about Russia. I worry about Putin because the tail of the dragon in Scorpio is going to be on that country. And I gave the date of the 22nd, 2022. And that's when it invaded. I mean, all my work is well documented. It's dated. It's published. It's on YouTube. So you can always go there if you have the time so that I can prove to you my claim. So the astrology I practice is divine. Nostradamus didn't have a watch or a computer 500 years ago. So his methodology is intuitive, is spiritual. And like the great prophets, I also use quatrain. In his case, his quatrain are very blurry because he had to be careful of the French Inquisition not to lose his neck. In my case, I don't have to, so my quatrain are plain English, and I also add very, very obvious keywords, like, for example, Russia, children, France, Italy, earthquakes, and I gave exact date of earthquakes at or above 6.0. And I have the proof that I sent to the Seismologist Institute in Pasadena. I told them, be careful, there is an earthquake above 7.0 coming October the 12th and October the 14th. Wow. And it did happen, but they never ever answered me because they are wondering how a little astrologer can do better than all those geologists combined together.
Right. Did you ever think they're part of the stuff there is the part that's dealing with Ukraine and Russia and the whole part of the Middle East was dealing with governmental factions like Lockheed Martin, big contracts, DNC works there that were setting this up for 8 years. That this is well documented.
Again,
this was the fall to the last step that someone like the dog was going to get the whip back at the end there to be pulled back and says that we're done. Did you ever think about that?
Yeah, of course. There is such a thing of conspiracies too. And then the people strive for it. And if your UCI is set for conspiracy, your logical, critical thinking will go through the window. That's just the way you are designed, astrologically speaking. But all my work is based upon astrology. Is based upon the movement of the stars. And as I'm speaking to you, the tail of the dragon is in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio rules life, death, the reincarnation principle, war. And Putin, my last video, I did his astrological chart. Putin is a Leo dragon tail. Now, Leo was France, Italy, love, children, anything to do with life. And Putin has the tail of the dragon in Leo, which means he's set by the higher order to kill a lot of children.
What was Biden?
Biden is a Scorpio. When you elect a president, you are going
Hillary
to be
Clinton.
Oh, come on, Joe.
Just asking.
She's a Libra. Okay. She's a Libra. Libra was the law. So
sorry.
there is so much to say about my world.
No,
think
I'm sorry. I'm
so.
hijacking your guys' show there. You know what? I'll leave, and you know what? You guys have a great show.
Okay.
Well, I think to kind of
All right,
help and
Dale.
answer like Nina's question and his
Dr. Turi, you're going to go to hell. Meantime, they have the entire Vatican is loaded with astrological relics, and that is the sad reality. And my mission, of course, is to bring it back to our society, because people like all of you here carry a hell of a lot of past life, and you've probably been hanged, burnt, and drowned a few times during many of your past
Not me,
lives.
you, Trish. Jason.
I have been burned many lifetimes. I tell you.
Yeah. As far as your heart is connected, do you like animals, cats, dogs, horses? Do you have fear of them or allergy against them or what? I see something with animals.
I love animals.
Check out this Verbo.
Oh, man. Michael, they're your cousins.
Look at me. Here I am, right where I belong. I see that face coming back to me like an old familiar song. What better place could anyone be? 'Cause you're here with me. It's all I've been looking for and so much more. And now I'm here, now you're here. Nothing can go wrong 'cause I am right where I belong. And now I'm here, now you're here. Nothing can go wrong 'cause I am right where I belong.
You see this plastic tote right here? Well, I'm going to show you something right now. Now, some people are concerned that they might have to go for a long period of time without outside food. That's why 4 Patriots is blowing up with thousands of requests for our survival food. And I should mention that when you get one of these heavy-duty 4-week survival food kits, you also get 2 of these 72-hour survival food kits for free. By the way, this food stays good in pouches like this up to an incredible 25 years long. Now, I've heard some brands have already run out of their survival food, but we are doing everything we can to make as much survival food available as possible right now with everything that's going on. That's why now, for a limited time, and I cannot stress this enough, while supplies last, you can get a discreet, low-key storage tote that is packed with a walloping 4-week supply of survival food. Now, this tote is capable of feeding you breakfast, lunch, dinner, and yes, even snacks for weeks at a time. Again, this tote comes packed with enough in it